Hey guys, so today I want to go over some of the Christopher Nolan movies I've watched so far. I'm gonna talk about the basic plot and also my overall recommendation for the movies I'm gonna go over. The movies I want to go through are Interstellar, Oppenheimer, Memento, The Dark Knight Rises, The Prestige, and Insomnia. So these are the movies I've watched from Christopher Nolan, who is a famous director. I'm sure you know him. And he's also produced these films, some of these films, and yeah, he's done some great movies, and that's why today's video is gonna be based on this director and his movies. So the first one I'm gonna talk about is the Interstellar. This movie was released in 2014. It's a sci-fi and drama, and it stars Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, Michael Caine, and Matt Damon, who had a smaller role compared to the other three, but still he had a major part in the overall plot. And this is a story set in a near future where Earth is becoming uninhabitable. And Cooper, who is a famous no, he's not famous, but he's a pilot, and also he's a former NASA pilot, and he's also a farmer. And he's a father of two kids. And his son is played by Timothy Chalamet, who is a famous actor. And he's recruited for a secret space mission. And Anne Hathaway basically plays one of the major people who was in the mission along with Matthew McConaughey. And Scientists have discovered a wormhole that could lead to a new habitable planet. So this was a mission set by Anne Hathaway's father in the movie, played by Michael Caine, whose character is named uh, Dr. Brand, I think, and he basically he wanted them to do a task to go to space, and basically Cooper joined a small crew who was traveling across galaxies to find humanity's new home. So basically, I watched this film about 2 weeks ago, and what I really liked about this film was the performance of the actors, especially Matthew McConaughey and also Michael Caine. And Matt Damon, although he had a smaller role compared to the other two actors, but he also portrayed his character well. And he appears in the later scenes, not in the beginning. And overall, I would rate this film probably 8 out of 10. And it's a great film, and I would definitely recommend this to everybody to watch it. So the second film I want to talk about is Oppenheimer. It was released in 2023. It's a historical drama about the life of a famous physicist, J. Robert Oppenheimer, played by Cillian Murphy. And the film basically stars Cillian, Robert, Emily, and also some great actors as well. And the story follows his rise as a genius scientist in the early 20th century. And during World War II, he's chosen to lead a top secret government project and task, and he had to develop a powerful weapon and machine, which caused some moral and political consequences, which became increasingly complex as the plot progressed. I watched this film about 2 years ago, and I was really thrilled about the actors' performances, especially Killian and Emily, as well as Robert, who was one of the rivals against Oppenheimer, and it was a great film. I would give this a probably 7.5 out of 10. It's a must watch, so don't miss it. Um, so the third film I want to go over is Memento. It's released in 2000, and it's a psychological thriller about memory and identity. The one thing about this film is that it starts from the end and ends at the beginning. So it's probably complex because it's different from other films. So other films start from the start and end from the end at the end. But this film basically starts from the end, and so it's kind of it causes some confusion. And so that's one thing about the film. It stars Guy Pearce, Joe Pantoliano, who plays the main antagonist of the film, and also Carrie Ann Moss, who is a Canadian actress. And so the story follows Leonard, played by Guy, who suffers from short-term memory loss, and he cannot form new memories after a traumatic event. And Leonard is basically trying to find that person responsible for his wife's death. So basically, the story starts when he finally finds the killer and kills him. And to cope with this condition, he basically relies on his notes, photos, and tattoos to remember the facts and the sequences happening that he cannot remember. I would probably give this movie an 8 out of 10. And it's a must watch, and it's, I think, in IMDb's top 200 films, so you must probably check that out. And yeah. So the fourth film I want to go over is The Dark Knight Rises. It's released in 2012. I actually haven't seen the other Batman movies, and this is actually the last one. I started with the last one because it has an amazing cast. The story takes place 8 years after the events of The Dark Knight, which I haven't watched yet. And Bruce Wayne has retired and lives alone and in isolation. A new and powerful enemy named Bane emerges, and Bane is played by now, I can't remember the actor's name, but he's threatening the Gotham City. And as the city faces chaos and fear, Bruce is forced to confront his past and return as Batman. And the movie stars Christian Bale, Anne Hathaway, Gary Oldman, and Marion. Um, I would give this film a rating of 7 out of 10. I enjoyed the photo shoots and the filming, and also the music and the intensity of the film. And also the plot of the film was interesting as well. And I would recommend this to any superhero fan. And yeah. So the fifth film is The Prestige. So this is a 2006 film. It's a psychological drama set in the world of stage magic. It stars Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman, Michael Caine, and Scarlett Johansson. The story follows these two talented magicians played by Christian and Hugh in late 19th century in London. And after a tragic accident, their professional rivalry and feud turns into a dangerous obsession, and each magician wants to win over the other. And each one of them becomes determined to make the ultimate illusion and basically take over the other magician. And as they compete with each other, their lives become increasingly consumed by secrecy, sacrifice, and deception. What I liked about this film was the plot and also the way the actors had their chemistry between each other, and also the ending was also twisty, but it was a great film. I would highly suggest you guys to watch it. So the sixth film and the last film I want to go over is Insomnia. It was released in 2002. It's a psychological crime thriller starring Al Pacino and Robin Williams. The story follows a professional, veteran detective sent to a small town in Alaska to basically investigate a murder. And when the investigation was happening, a mistake puts him under an intense pressure. And the town's constant daylight makes it impossible for him to sleep. And as a result, he has insomnia. And as his condition worsens, his judgment and mental state starts to gets low and decrease. And I enjoyed this film, and I would definitely suggest you guys to check it out. And movies I'm planning to watch in the future is The Dark Knight and Batman Begins. These two are the other Batman films that happened before the last Batman film, so I'm gonna check those out. And also The Odyssey, which is gonna come out in 2026, late 2026, and also Inception, Tenet. I've watched like half of Inception, and also Tenet and Dunkirk, which is a war film, I think it stars Cillian Murphy, so I'm gonna watch that too. Um, Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.